Hey everybody, what's up? How y'all doing? Welcome to Inside Game Chat. I'm your not your main host, I'm your co-host. My name is Dower. I keep forgetting my name by the way. My name is Dower. Welcome you all to our show. We're gonna have a great show today,
What's the name of the
and
show again?
Inside Game Chat.
Can,
Game
can you say
Chat.
it one more
Game.
time? I don't think anybody got it because you couldn't remember it last week.
All right, one last time, people. Inside Game Chat. All right.
Uh,
Remember this name, people. Yeah.
and what's my
And
name?
Kristen, random name, something. Jared. Yeah,
Exactly.
Jared.
All the following above is correct. But
Watch Fallout, people. It's a good show.
he hasn't watched it. He still has it. Everyone, please, please, hashtag watch Fallout show.
Alright, I'll play Stellar Blade instead.
The thing is, everyone knows you would like it.
I know. I'm pretty sure I would like it too. I don't have time. We have talked about it. Yeah.
You have time. You just have to make the time. That's all it is.
I'll let you know someday.
Well, anyway, what you been playing this week, Dower?
I already mentioned it. I've been playing Stellar Blade. We'll continue tonight. And then maybe tomorrow or something. I'll play something else. But right now I'm like 5 hours in Stellar Blade. It's a pretty amazing game, people. The game itself, just play the. I mean, if don't watch all those clips on Twitter, like what people do for to get their clicks. I mean, gameplay, story is okay so far. I'll be honest, I'm not digging the story, but like the world, the gameplay, the graphics, the performance of the game is phenomenal. This is Shift Up's the developer Shift Up's first console release, and they just knocked it out of the park with like how good the game plays on a PS5 console. And it's fun, man. It's just fun. Total blast. Side missions are fun, actually. It's not like those side missions kind of mean something. They're not related to the main quest, but they mean something. It's you gotta enjoy it. So play it. It's fun. It's a blast. Not that challenging as some people said. Some people said it's Souls like. It is, but not as hard as any Souls game. So that's Stellar Blade.
Well, so while we're on the topic of Stellar Blade, just let me ask you, what do you think about all this censorship? How, the day before the game released, the update came out and blocked all
Okay.
this
Uh,
fancy stuff and partial nudity, and the internet is blowing up about. I've even seen there's like an actual people trying to do a petition.
I, uh,
Ironically, it's mostly men our age, and that makes me feel bad.
Honestly, man, first I'm gonna speak for myself and then I'll talk about others. Like in general, I from the get-go when I saw this game, I did not care about how hot or how sexy the girl could look in her clothes or whatever. The thing that caught my attention was the swords, the bosses, the fights, the presentation, how the game looks as a game. I like how cool the character looks when she's fighting, when she's dodging, when she's blocking, the perfect parries and all that. That's what sold the game to me. To be honest, I don't care what they do with the censorship. I'm being honest. Okay, I mean, if they want to put a lot more clothes on, they want to take clothes off. I honestly won't care, man. I just want to play the game. I just want to enjoy the combat, just the world, just the game itself. It's good that she looks hot, right? It's good, but it's not like what sold me to the game. So it I, it sucks for the people, I guess, who are looking into it. But like, guys, if you want to watch all this stuff, like porn stuff or whatever, like if you want to just whatever it is, just go on the internet or do something. I don't know, go out, go to a strip club or something, man. But for a game, like, why are we complaining? It's a game, man. It's a video game. It's good she looks cool. I mean, I would never be against characters looking hot, sexy, or whatever, but it's just like it should not be, the main selling point for a game. For some people, it is apparently because they cancel their PlayStation Plus subscription because of the censorship or something. I'm like, guys, I don't
It's a
understand.
video game.
Like, yeah,
It's just it's censored in Japan too. It's censored everywhere. It's not like you're the only one being affected. It's
and
just
can I ask you another quick thing? It's a quick note though. I mean, sometimes characters could be, like hot or sexy or like badass looking, but you would be playing them as you would be playing a first person game, right? So you won't even see the character. I mean, I know this is a third person game, but I'm just talking in general. Like sometimes, Master Chief is a badass looking dude, the Doom guy is, but you don't get to see them, right? So nobody complains about, oh, I can't even see the character, like how good or badass he looks, but like you still play it because the game itself is phenomenal, right? Or the games are fun. I mean, just play Stellar Blade for the game, play it for the combat, play for what it has to offer. I mean, some people might be enjoying the story too. Also, the soundtrack is also really good for the game. I love the soundtrack in the game. It's pretty solid. So just play a game, play games. Don't, I mean, want to watch something like it's
I
kind of
have no
like
desire to play this game. I am not even interested in it in the least. Never
why
have
not?
been.
Why not?
It's just not my. It's just. It just doesn't look fun to me.
Well, but what's making you like not like it, or like what's so
It just.
uninteresting about it? Just curious there. So,
Uh, Probably that I'm just burned out from like Souls likes and stuff.
but okay, I get that, but it's not really so. But
Well,
you're gonna play Elden Ring day one, the DLC that's coming
yeah, I'm
out,
gonna
right?
play that, but that's just because I need all the achievements.
Okay.
I already have them all, so I
You don't
want
even
the
need to
rest.
buy that game. So you don't even need to buy that game day one. You could wait, when it's on sale to get the
Well, of
DLC.
course I'm gonna
You know.
buy it day one. Here's why: I want to get them as fast as I can.
Well, you're not gonna get any reward or something, or will you?
You do know on Microsoft you can actually get rewards points for achievements, right?
No, no, I know. But what I meant as a reward, like if the fastest person to
Oh
get
no, no, no! It's not. I'm not
achievements,
doing
you're not
that.
getting. Yeah, you're not even getting any recognition, man. I'm sorry if it sounds
Okay, I'll get
rude or
recommended this on
something.
this podcast because I'll have them all.
All right,
But
man. Whatever. That's
but
fine.
I just have no interest in Stellar Blade. I'm playing. I'm
What?
happily playing Sandland right now, which is based off of the recent passing of the creator of Dragon Ball. Um, this is his first ever manga, and it's been turned into a show and a game. And this is was decided well before his death. He just happened to
Yeah.
die before they launched. Um,
I remember you mentioned this game to me like sometime back in January or
yeah,
something.
when I
That
pre-ordered it. Um, and I like it for the most part. It's got one little thing that's annoying me. It's got a grindy feature that I'm having to replay areas and go and search things because it's got a lot of crafting. Like it's a core feature of the game. But once you get past that, what you have to craft, you craft your tank, your vehicles. It's a vehicle game, and all the vehicles play really well. So, and the graphics are like really well done. I'm just enjoying it. It's just like I said. That's just my one gripe is right now I'm trying to find 3 parts of 6, and it's just taking 3 or 4 hours at a time.
three parts of what? I'm sorry.
3 parts of a vehicle. You have to find all the key parts of a vehicle to make a vehicle.
Gotcha.
I have
Gotcha.
3 of them, which I got lucky and found one early on because it's all randomly generated. So I found one early on, well before I needed it, and then the other two, uh, the primary, which was mission based, and then about an hour ago I found another one. I've still got to keep going and try and find 3 more.
Okay. Right.
Like I said, it's a little annoying, but
Well, achievement hunting for myself is annoying these days. Just achievement
oh no,
hunting.
that's not achievements really. I'm just enjoying the
I know, I
game.
know, no, but it's kind of like a work. You're kind of grinding it out, right? So achievement hunting is also that too, grinding it
To me,
out,
it's
play the
not. I
game.
enjoy it. That's why.
Okay. So again, back to Stellar Blade. I'm sorry. You have no issues too, right? But what to do with the censorship or not, right?
I honestly don't care. I mean, I'm looking forward for the remaster of Lollipop Chainsaw, so I'm going to be playing that.
No, but my thing is, my question is, let's say if you were interested in Stellar Blade, right? If you were, would it take your excitement away if they like, not let you see her body as much as they're doing right now?
No, me, it
Like,
would not take my
no, right?
excitement away at all.
No,
I mean,
right?
it is a person that is not real. So it's, I mean, yes, there's scans of a real person, but the person isn't real.
True, true. Yeah,
And
yeah,
even then, the scans are doctored.
yeah. I mean, yeah. But it's at the end of the day, I know what sometimes developer kind of like try to sell games with like all that stuff added, like all the fun
Old
stuff.
term,
But
sex sells.
yeah, I mean that's what they do. But like at the end of at the core of itself, the game. I'm telling you all, just I mean, if you're interested to play this game for what the game has to offer, but the play like the gaming stuff, and you're gonna like it. I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about people in general. You're gonna enjoy the game. But if you're gonna go with the mindset, hey, it's hot girl in the game. I mean, we're going to see all these sexy clothes. I mean, guys, you can do that with whatever, man. You don't have to buy this game for $70 just to watch all that stuff. So, and I mean, I'm not judging you all like what you do with your life. It's just, but you don't have to. If you're gonna spend $70, I mean, on this just for that purpose, I think that's a waste of money. That's what I'm just saying.
I agree. I mean, it is a waste of money. I mean, but I will say it's not like back in the PS2, Xbox day, original Xbox, early 360 days. You got games like Dead or Alive Extreme 2, which is a freaking.
They're also good fun gameplay too, by the way. I mean, it's not for me, but I know a lot of people love them. The fighting mechanics of those games that are they're alive, and I think they have
Oh
story
no,
too.
no, no, no! Dead or Alive Extreme is not a fighting game.
Which one? I mean, they're in numerical numbers, right? Dead or Alive one, two, three,
Dead or
four, five.
Alive is, but Dead or Alive Extreme
Oh,
is
it's something else.
not a fighting game.
What is
It is a
what is?
sex sim.
Is it?
It's a dating sex sim. It's literally you go out with all the females of Dead or Alive, and it ends with fireworks at the end of the time. And those are full rendered 3Ds. Those weren't like some of the Steam ones where they're just dating sims.
Oh, the developer for this game is Team Ninja. I did not know that. Okay,
So
well,
I mean, I
I
know the
guess.
IP is owned by Teenage. I'm not sure if they did those though. Hold on a second, I can tell you.
I mean, there are some games
Dead or Alive
uh
Extreme.
who do sell based off their sexuality stuff or whatever. Like I don't know if you
Well,
ever played this fight. What?
there was a Dead or Alive Extreme 3 that came out in 2019. Did not know this. Must not have come to America.
But did not come to America?
It was
Like you
on.
cannot play here?
Yeah, it didn't
Really?
come to America.
Like you cannot even go and buy it on Steam? No? That is weird.
Well, it's a Japanese game. It might be available on Steam. Yeah, it says via Steam in America.
Okay.
It's a free to play gotcha game. Um, but yeah, it's a straight up sex game. Like going all the way back. I mean, I remember the banana boats. Like I remember watching like a old show on G4 called X Play, and they were talking about it, and they showed it, and literally like at one the scene they were showing, the girl was grinding on a banana boat.
Okay.
Yep.
You got an achievement for that?
No, that was pre achievements, man.
Oh, it was? Oh, okay, okay.
I,
Gotcha. You said OG Xbox. Oh, okay, okay. Yeah.
yeah, that was OG
Okay.
Xbox. I think there was like I'm just talking like there was some games that back then you got Leisure Shoot Larry that was really like they were MA games. Like you don't see
So,
MA games anymore.
so they probably sell well in Japan because that's how they got to the third game, right?
Pretty
And
much.
then people in Japanese, man.
Well, haven't you seen
Friend,
hentai?
what is that? A movie?
No, it's Japanese animated porn. That's what hentai is
Oh
called.
no. Oh no.
I just had to educate Dower everybody. Write this down. Anyway,
Hentai. I mean, I don't have time for Fallout. Sure, and now you want me to go watch hentai?
oh, go watch that with your wife. Go watch hentai with your wife and see how she feels.
Well, she has no issues with me playing Stellar Blade. She likes that game, by the way, and she likes the music too in that game. So yeah.
Uh, but anyway, let's go.
Mhm.
We went off course with.
Let's talk real video games now, like
Yep,
games.
yep. Yes. We touched on censorship. I mean, and
Mhm.
I'm in,
Yeah.
and I also this week I got all the achievements again for Fallout 4 on PC this week,
All right, congrats, man. We'll buy you a trophy, a real trophy.
and I went back and played the latest DLC of Remnant 2.
Did you beat it?
Yes, got
Oh,
the.
nice.
I have
Nice.
all the
I mean,
achievements for Remnant 2. I got all
so,
those achievements too.
I have a question. I have a question. You said you're not in the mood to play any of the Souls-like games, but you play Remnant too. That's sometimes harder than Souls-like games,
It's a shooty bang bang game.
but it's hard. It's not easy.
I
It's
don't
hard.
think it's
Like
that hard, but I play a lot of shooters. Shooters, I'm probably the best at.
gotcha. I forgot about that part because you beaten Halo with the hardest difficulties several times, right?
Yes,
Yeah. So I mean,
yes,
yeah.
and I've beaten one of them, not all of them, with all skulls on.
Goes on. I never figured out what that actually does, though. I know it makes it harder, but like I don't
Uh,
understand what it
see,
exactly
one
is.
there's the Iron Skull, which is probably the one that is the most annoying. The Iron Skull, if you play co-op, it resets the checkpoint. If you're playing solo, it resets the level
Okay.
when you die. And then there's Mythic, which uh, levels everybody up. Tilt, which makes that shields are more resistant to projectiles and plasma weapon resistant to shotguns, like the physical bullets, while body hits are more more resilient against plasma. It takes more hits with plasma kills, bullets.
Sure.
Vice versa. Um, everything is a legendary creature. Like they're all their super versions, which is why I said the mythic was. Then you got famine, which like gives you a half a clip from every dropped weapon. Uh, Thunderstorm, which doubles health for the enemies.
Doubles the health for the enemies.
Yes. Catch, which increases the percentage of grenades thrown by almost 120%. So, like, you can run in, if you run into a room with full of grunts, you just start seeing plasma grenades flying at you. They
Really?
throw plasma grenades more than they shoot bullets.
The boss fights in Halo Infinite were some like really difficult, even in normal for me. Like they were hard.
There were some hard
Um,
ones when I ran through on Legendary. I did like when I went back when I went back and did the speed run one on Legendary, and you
mhm.
got the tank, and when you could get the tank gun. You just run through
Uh-huh.
the whole game in under 5 hours with the tank, under 3 hours with the tank gun on
Oh
the
wow,
hardest
really? Well,
difficulty, and you just blow people away.
in just 3 hours? Damn. Wow.
So,
Wow.
one thing is about that
So,
tank
so
gun. A lot, all the
yeah,
like boss fights. You know how they have shields and super shields and stuff. A lot of
yeah,
them.
yeah.
One thing is, um, every time you spawn, like the initial spawn of that, their shields haven't spawned yet, so you could one shot a lot of enemies. Like I one shot the final boss in the game because I was clicking so fast to get it to fire. As soon as it just blew his head off, and no shields, no nothing. It just the game froze for a second, and then it went to the cutscene.
That final boss was a lady, though, right? I mean, the lady, female character, right? No, in
No,
Infinite.
no, it was the
Oh no 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 no! Oh, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, sorry. It was the big guy,
yeah,
right? Yeah. I
yeah,
forgot his name though. What
yeah.
was his name? Never
Uh,
mind.
I can't remember.
I mean, I remember when he died, he said, "Thank you for this respectful death." Like he was thanking us for killing him that way.
Yeah,
Like,
well, yeah, that's a banish
hardcore
for you.
girl.
They're all about warriors. I mean, if you go into some of the
Okay.
books, you know there are Spartan banish, right? That betrayed the UNSC.
No. No.
Literally,
I'm not that in.
there are
Not that in.
Spartan banished. There's not many of them,
Uh-huh.
but they work for the banished.
I didn't know that. No.
It's because Atriox is actually a not like benevolent or anything. He's a warmonger,
Mhm.
criminal and stuff. But the thing is, he's a good leader, and it's easy for people to follow him. He's actually probably one of my favorite characters in all the Halo universe. Atriox is. Um, Speaking of which, uh, Halo Infinite is actually doing one where you get banished based armor for your Spartans.
Oh,
It just started today.
just that. Wow, nice. Nice bit of insight into that. I did
So,
not know that. Wow, that's cool. That's cool. That's a great update.
yeah, that's the
I mean, the
latest
thing with
update.
Halo, the thing with Halo is, I mean, you have to have your notifications on, or like, you have to be deep into Halo stuff to know what's going on. But like Halo Infinite marketing is just whatever, man. Like a lot of people don't know what's happening in the game. So,
Well, it is what it is. But anyway, I think that kind of covers the games we've been playing. I just wanted to mention that because I just remember because I saw the tweet earlier today. Speaking of tweets, did you see the big announcement today?
from the Xbox account,
Yes, Xbox
yeah, yeah,
Game
man.
Showcase.
June 9. We all nailed the date.
Yeah. Um, I will. We will be doing a live
Like,
post show. Post show.
yes, sir. Yes, sir. It's
Now,
Sunday, right? We
I haven't talked to Dower, but me and Dower might actually stream it together and kind of jump notes of each other. But I'm not streaming it and talk to people live. I like to enjoy
okay.
mine, but at the same time, if they do what they did last year, I may go watch it in the theater and then come back.
Oh, okay.
It was actually cool last
Like,
year.
they were doing that. I remember that. I mean, I think me and my friend, one of us won tickets, but we still didn't go because one of us was busy that day. But I think we won tickets to go to the theater in New York City. It would have been fun, to be honest. Yeah.
It was fun. Like it was free tickets. The only thing is you bought popcorn, whatever. Um, but at the same time, though, it just wasn't. I'm still debating if I might do it again this year. But do you have an idea what the mystery direct is?
To be honest, I don't think so. It's a mystery thing. I think in State of Decay 3, it just feels that game, like that logo and the look. It looks like it's a bear at the
It's a
back.
wolf.
As a wolf.
Yeah,
So that makes it
that is
more of a.
also. I'm thinking it's one of two things. One, one's more likely, but I think it's Call of Duty.
That's what you think is more likely, Call of Duty?
Yeah, because if you look in the image, it actually shows the um, it shows DC. I'm trying to think of it. Capitol Hill. It shows Capitol Hill in the background. So
I
I
mean,
don't
you
think
guys
State of
know more
Decay is
about.
going to take place in DC. It could now.
I mean, no, no, not DC part, but I just thought the wolf thing or the bear thing. But you said it's a wolf, so that's why I thought like State of Decay, you were hunting animals too, right?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, in the trailer they showed up you were hunting a deer, but they showed that off like 4 years ago.
So
So I think it's time. It's due time. Plus, like State of Decay, I know it's not as popular as Call of Duty, but it's like pretty decently. Like a lot of people do play that game. Like I think
I
it
still play
State
it.
of Decay 2 had. State of Decay 2 had 10 million players or something, or maybe more by now. Yeah, right.
Um, but there is another one I'm thinking, which this one's like really less likely, but the color scheme's correct for what the game is. It's it like and it revolves in particular about a unit. I actually think it might be Tom Clancy's Division.
Okay. Okay.
I don't
I've
know
heard.
why it would be after the Xbox Showcase because that's kind of a Ubisoft thing. But I
Yeah.
mean, it's just all the color schemes. All is like that was my second thought, but I don't think it is.
Yeah, I don't think that's gonna be it.
And for all we know,
It's
it can
gonna
be
be
an
one of the.
entirely new game.
I think it's more likely gonna be one of the X. Yeah, you're right. It could be a new game too, but I think it's gonna be one of those Xbox property, like one of the games that is associated with Xbox.
Which
Like yeah.
bringing Call of Duty, that would be a good one. I mean, they've done Call of Duty directs the last couple of years. They're not like full directs for what's coming to Call of Duty, so I mean, it's plausible.
So if
Um,
it's State of Decay, what would be your reaction though?
I don't think State of Decay would be big enough for a direct. That's just my opinion. I love State of Decay. I feel like if you're gonna get a direct, it's gonna be ones that are like the really big known ones, like Fable, Perfect Dark.
Perfect Dark is big right now.
Well, no, Perfect Dark would be a big one because it's an espionage first person stealth game. But I mean, but Perfect Dark is a bigger IP than State of Decay. It's an older IP, but it
It
is a
has
bigger.
its legacy. It
Yeah,
has its legacy, right? Yeah.
yeah, it's cause its legacy. Um, the only other thing it could be, which I doubt because Indiana Jones coming.
No, no. I mean, we already had a developer direct for
No, no,
that.
I'm not saying
So,
Indiana Jones is direct, but it's from Machine Games. The only other
oh,
thing
oh,
I'm
oh.
thinking it could be would be Wolfenstein.
I mean, that would be cool too. That would be cool. Yeah.
But
I
that
just,
team's working on Indiana Jones, so there is a smaller
but like,
team.
yeah, for the Call of Duty part, it's just like it would be cool for fans, obviously, more like the people who are big into Call of Duty stuff. But like, I think they can do Call of Duty event on any given day, and it's gonna be huge, right?
Yeah.
So like, even if they do it in August, like during Gamescom or right after that, it's still gonna be everybody's gonna watch it,
Yeah, but
except for
here's
me.
why I think they would do it. If
Yeah.
it's the Game Pass announcement that all Call of Duties are free on Xbox going forwards, if you have a Game Pass subscribe, that would be the reason. That would be
If they do that, yeah, yeah, then I'm 100% with you. If they
yeah,
do that, yeah,
yeah. I mean, like,
100%.
hey, Call of Duty is free on Xbox. If you want to, you never want to buy
With
another
Game Pass,
one, just get an
with Game
Xbox
Pass, with Game Pass. It's not
with Game
free
Pass.
with Game Pass. Yeah.
With Game
Game
Pass,
Pass
yeah.
is getting
Well, they'll
expensive,
say
by the
free
way.
with Game Pass. That's how
They
they
wouldn't
always
say
market.
that.
They market.
No,
No, they always say free with
it's
Game Pass.
included with Game Pass. They never say free. I mean, because it's not free.
Well, they always
They
like I
are they
know
no no no. All they say is play it day one with Game Pass.
they
Either they
one.
would say play day one
No,
with Game
well, no,
Pass,
they
or they would
play
say
it day one
included.
with Game Pass, but every once in a while when a new game joins it, like a game that's not brand spanking new out of day one release, they say play it free with Game
No,
Pass.
no, it's included. I'm pretty sure. I mean, we can look it up later on, but I'm sure.
So
I mean, because they know if they say free, people will be like,
no,
"What do you mean not
as long as they say free with
free?"
Game Pass, that just means you have to have a
I
Game
mean,
Pass.
you and I easily understand. We won't have any issues with that, right? You and I, like, or like people who
Oh
have
no, it
like
still makes
decent
sense.
mind.
Like they're going to go Game Pass free with Game Pass.
Yeah,
What's Game Pass? And that's when they go look.
yeah.
Oh, it's a subscription service, so I get all these games to play for free if I subscribe just to the overall thing.
But like, here's my thing. But what about other subscription services, not Game Pass, like not gaming? Like, they never say Daredevil is free on Disney Plus, right? I mean, if you have Disney Plus, it's free. Nobody says that, right? So it's just
Well, no,
because we all know we are
everyone
paying something,
everybody markets
right?
stuff differently. I could be wrong, but everyone markets
Mhm.
stuff
You
differently.
are.
So I could be wrong,
Most likely you are.
but
Yeah,
Oh, well,
I mean, yeah, I mean, you're right though. If that part about like all the games are coming to Game Pass, all new Call of Duty games, then yeah, that's true. But like, didn't they say they're not allowed to? Not them, like because of the
well, no,
whatever
no.
FTC.
That's with the prolonged thing. It was going to be the first year we wouldn't get anything, but the marketing's over with Sony. Marketing ended with Modern Warfare 3.
Okay, that was the
So
last. Okay.
yeah, if they had gotten it pre Modern Warfare 3, we still would have had to wait a year because of the marketing. The marketing is over with MW3, so the next one in the line can be wherever it wants. If anything, I have a feeling that MW3 will launch 1 year after.
On
After
Game Pass.
no,
On Game
not
Pass.
like
Like,
yeah, 1 year after release on Game Pass. That one might be. They'll say all the Call of Duties, uh, excluding MW for pre-existing contracts. That would be it, and they would make that clear. It's just hey, pre-existing contract. But starting with this one going forwards, all of them will launch day one to Game Pass. So, um, but anything you really want to see at the Xbox press release before we jump to the
I
next
mean,
topic?
obviously, there are just two games from them that I really want to see. The games that we've already seen, I just want to see more. I just don't think one of these will be shown again because they showed it last year. It's Fable. I definitely want to see more of Fable, but I don't think so. They're gonna go back to back years with Fable gameplay, right? And then the second game is I hope it's there. It's Perfect Dark. Like yeah, I mean it's still my most anticipated Xbox game. It is. I mean I know whatever stuff was going on with them with the production and all that, but I just think it's gonna be one of those games that's just gonna blow everyone away. It's just the production level when it comes out. I think it's gonna be like it's gonna speak volume, like how Red Dead Redemption 2 did. I may be completely wrong. I may be completely wrong, but like when Red Dead Redemption 2 came out, it set standards for the quality and stuff. I think Perfect Dark is gonna be that game for Xbox. Not just for Xbox,
But
for
quick
everybody. It's
question
gonna be that.
about that: are you going from the launch trailer?
No, no, no. Like I said, I mean that plays a part, but it's not the main thing.
Are
That
you
when I
going?
said
You're going
remember
from the old
the star
quadruple
power,
A.
no, the star power of developers behind that game, right? I know some of them left, but there's still a lot. Like Gallagher guy, I forgot his
You know,
name.
the head of the studio, Gallagher.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and he's the what's his first name? David, something like that.
David
Dan
Gallagher.
Gallagher, David Gallagher. Him. There are a couple more. Like I mean, that Drew Murray guy is gone, but I know he was not like a big like developer thing. He was more of like marketing and sort of like hiring people. I think or HR guy, Drew Murray. Remember
No,
from who worked?
Drew Murray is the one who created the uh, the free
Sunset
movement system of uh, why am I drawing a blank?
Sunset Overdrive or Spider
Yep,
Man?
Sunset Overdrive. He's the guy
Okay.
who he was the lead designer of that. Of
Oh really?
Sunset.
Okay. I mean,
Drew Murray went back to it. A lot of it is with that. It was just too many cooks in the kitchen, but I think they got their team now.
yeah, yeah. And another thing. So you said is it because of the trailer? The trailer was like basically the cherry on top of the cake. The initiative. Remember when Xbox went on a spree of buying all these studios? That studio was like when they announced the team, all those guys talking in the same room about what their plan is, what they want to do with the game. It was that got me hyped up for whatever their next game is gonna be. At that time, I did not know it was gonna be Perfect Dark, but when it was revealed that it's Perfect Dark, I'm like, okay, all right, it's gonna be crazy when the game comes out. So yeah, that's me. Perfect Dark and Fable. Can I throw a third?
Sure, why not go
You know,
for it?
it's Gears, obviously. I mean, it's time. Gears 6. I mean, it's was Gears 5 was the reason why I subscribed to Game Pass, why I became a true day one. I mean, since then I've been a Game Pass subscriber. When I found out a type of a game is coming to Game Pass day one, and it was actually not even coming day one. It was coming 3 days before it actually released. It was released with Game Pass. You got 3 days early access with it. So that was the thing that sold me. And I love Gears 5. I know a lot of people say it's not, obviously it's not on that level of the story wise or the how the world was set in Gears 1 to 3. But Gears 5 still it's a legit game. It's a gorgeous game. The gameplay is fun. I know they
I
didn't
actually
do
like the
any
story better in Gears 5 than
uh-huh.
probably Gears 1 and 2. But I think Gears 3
Really?
has the best story.
Really? No, I don't think so. It has better story than Gears 2 at all. Maybe Gears 1, but Gears 2 story is really good, man. And some of the gameplay, like not the gameplay, the set pieces and missions when you were going on the whatever, we'll talk about this later. It's kind of another topic.
No,
But
no,
Gears
yeah,
2 is
that's
better than Gears 5.
well.
Yeah.
Let me throw you my three. Um, I'm gonna throw us. Yes, it's in the Gears vein, but I'm hoping the rumored remaster of the Grand Collection of the first three Gear games.
You don't even like the first two.
I didn't say that. I said I like Gears
No,
5 better.
no, I don't know. But that kind of means they're okay then. If you say Gears 5 is that good.
Well, no, no. I just like I like the story characters better. I don't. I like
Oh,
and
yeah.
I like the open worldness better.
No, I give you that. I give you that. The story characters are better in 5, for sure. For sure.
So, um, which I'm gonna get flack for that because a lot of people say no one beats the original four. But anyway,
Or the original 4? I mean, Gears 4 was.
no,
What, Gears 4 is
the
more.
original four characters: Marcus,
Oh,
Baird,
oh, oh. Okay,
uh,
okay, okay, okay.
yeah,
Sorry, sorry, sorry.
yeah,
No, Marcus. If you
Cole
ask me,
and Dom.
yeah, top tier characters, Marcus is obviously number one,
Yeah.
and I would
Oh, I
say
love
my
old
number.
Marcus and four. Grumpy old Marcus. My tomatoes.
Yeah, that's funny. Not my damn tomatoes, right? That part that was pretty awesome. Uh, and like how he talked to JD, is that your girlfriend? That's one hell of a girlfriend over there. Well, him, Kate Diaz would be number two, and then I think Cole is number three for me.
I
My
think
top three.
Kate and Marcus are really the way they're written. They are really the best characters in Gears. My favorite character will
Okay.
always be Baird. What?
Okay. No, no, we've talked about this, remember, with Trey and all that. I'm like, it's all right. He's not that good.
I
But
love
you love
Baird.
him.
I love Baird.
It was a
Um,
bald-headed guy in 5, right?
yes, he is bald.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he was doing more on
he's the
the
scientist
laboratory
guy.
stuff.
He's the scientist
Yeah, yeah,
guy.
that's what I'm saying. He's fine.
Yeah. But that one is the Gears 1, 2, and 3 collection, which it's probably just going to be 2 and 3 if you already own the Ultimate Edition of 1. Um, then probably just that I'm looking for more of an update from Microsoft. I'm ready to see more of ALD, of course. We're supposed to get an
No,
update.
I mean, not during the showcase. We just saw it in the
No, we'll
developer
get it.
direct.
Well, no, they didn't give a release date, so they'll have to do it during the showcase for a release date.
Yeah, true, 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 true.
So
Okay.
same goes with Indiana Jones. It would probably be in the showcase with the release date.
Okay. Uh, And then third
And
one.
and my third one, it's actually not a Microsoft first party. It is a EA for each EA game, but I want to see Dragon Age.
During Xbox Game Showcase.
Well, EA's not
I
doing one this year, so the
no. Yeah. Okay. You know what? You could be right because
they
Microsoft did
also
do.
announced Mass Effect at the Xbox in the press. I mean, so
Oh, that was Game Awards. Are you talking about Mass Effect 4?
no, the original Mass Effect, like Mass
I mean,
Effect 2,
but
1, 2, and 3 were all at the Xbox showcases,
but
and Anthem,
wait, when are we talking about? You talking about the Legendary Edition,
not the Legendary Edition. No,
the original Mass Effect? That yeah, it was Xbox own game though at that time.
well, no, it was developed by Xbox. But they also announced 2 and 3 at the Xbox press releases.
Yeah, during 360 era, yeah, they also
And
announced Grand
then,
Theft Auto 4 too.
well, yeah, and
So
they've also announced other EA stuff. They showed Star out Battle. What was it? Which Star Wars?
yeah, I was gonna say that Battlefront 2042. They didn't announce it. They just did more of like the presentation for that game. It was announced a week before Microsoft during EA's own show, and then Microsoft had more stuff to show in that
Yeah,
during the
well,
presentation. Yeah.
Microsoft said there'll be stuff announced from partners. I'm guessing EA and Capcom.
They said that Capcom too. Ooh, no, Capcom
Um,
is more associated with PlayStation though. I
well,
doubt
no.
it.
Let's see, what was it? Capcom announced, what was it?
Monster Hunter Rise on Game Pass Day One, I believe. That was
Yeah,
the
that
only
that was
one I
one
know.
of them. But they did another one a couple years ago. It wasn't. Crap. Why am I drawing a blank? Wasn't a Monster Hunter. Oh, they did a Devil May Cry. They did
I
Devil.
did not see that, but you could be right. You could be right. Yeah.
They did Devil May Cry. They announced it because it launched on everything.
It actually came on Game Pass pretty early. Like either it was released on Game Pass Day One or it came out Game Pass
No, it
within a
came
month or
out
two,
3 months
something like.
later.
Yeah, Devil May Cry 5, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So I
yeah.
mean, they do stuff for Capcom all the time. So oh, and they showed a
That was
trailer
5 years. By
for
the way, that was 5 years ago.
and they showed a
Just
trailer
saying.
for that. That they didn't announce it, but one year they showed a trailer, an update trailer for Dragon Dogma. So
Did it? Dragon's Dogma too?
yep, it may not have been. It wasn't last year or the year before that. It may have been 3 years ago. Uh,
Yeah.
3 years ago.
I have I have a feeling confusing of a Diablo 4, I think. I think it was Diablo, not Dragon's Dogma.
It could have been, but I know
Yeah.
they've done some Capcom stuff recently.
Okay.
Um, but anyway, we touched on that, but we have a topic that's at request of Dowers this week, guys.
Well, before we do, how excited are you for the showcase, though? I'm sorry.
Eh, 5 or 6. I'm usually about that with any showcase now that I'm older.
Out
I used to be
out of
every
10?
showcase used to be a 10 for me.
Yeah, I mean, it was a 10 out of 10 for me until 22. Since then, it's been like last year. Was it last year or like 2 years? Yeah, I mean, yeah, 22 actually, when they did announce just before the showcase that Starfield and Redfall are getting delayed to next year. Dude, it took all my excitement away from the show because I'm like, what the fuck? What are we gonna play? I'm sorry for the profanity, people, but I was like, what are we gonna play like this year? Like, because 22 was the dull year for Xbox, and
And
then 23, uh, they were
this,
showing off games that were coming within 12 months, but they didn't deliver on their own promise. Though they said all the games that they were showing during the presentation, during the showcase. Oh, sorry, that was 22 also. That was not 23. That was 2022.
that was
I mean, some of
2021.
them.
That was
No, no,
2021.
22, 22. I'm not 22 because they show Volong, and Volong did release within the 12 month window. It was Forza Motorsport that did not release within the 12-month window, and there's a couple other games too. So, yeah, it was 22. I know 22. Last year, what did they even announce last year? I don't even remember what they announced last year. 23.
Mm,
Do you remember? Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Last year was actually good. They announced Clockwork Revolution.
yeah,
Not Midnight Suns.
yeah. South
Oh,
of
what
Midnight.
was South of Midnight. Yeah, those two were good, and they showed off some Fable gameplay. So last year was pretty solid, actually. But I'm not gonna be going too excited for the show. I'm like, I want to see what the. Oh, they also had a big presentation for Starfield. They followed up the Xbox show with the Starfield Direct
Yeah.
last year. Yeah, it was pretty fun.
I think
Last year
that's
it
going to
was
be a
nice.
standard every year going forwards that there'll be some kind of
Hmm
direct.
hmm Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
and it'll be for their biggest game of the year, which if we see Fable, because
Halo 7.
I still think Fable's coming next year. If we see Fable at this event, I think that'll be the direct the next year. I said we won't see it at the yearly what's coming this year thing.
I mean, so you don't think Xbox will do anything for the Game Awards anymore?
Oh
Or
no,
they're just gonna.
oh no, they'll still do stuff for the awards. But they wouldn't do Fable
Okay.
at the
I mean,
awards.
why not? They did Hellblade 2, 3 times. Why not they do Fable?
I don't think they'll do Fable at the awards.
It's a
Um,
big game.
it's a big game, but I have a weird feeling they would do probably a further out game and announcement,
But
and the higher chance
here's
is it would probably be a
bro.
Fallout game.
I mean, but you're kind of contradicting yourself right there. I mean, why would they show Hellblade 2, 3 times, especially like this past year when we all know it's
Because
coming
that's
out
what
within
Jeff
a year,
Keighley
less than
wanted.
Jeff Keighley. So why would he not want Fable though? Because my thing with Fable is it's a really huge game, and the most people who are watching these shows are like the most watched show is the Game Award show. So if you want people to play Fable, that's the show you want to like put it on for sure. To be honest,
Eh, but at the same time, it's not that big of an IP anymore. It's not the
it's
360.
bigger than Hellblade. I can bet you my money on that. It's bigger
Nah,
than
I
Hellblade.
would say Hellblade's bigger
It,
now. Fable is
there's no way. There's no way. There's
Fable
no
is a
way.
dormant IP.
No.
It went silent for over 10 years. Same with Perfect Dark.
Yeah, it went silent because Xbox messed it up, right? They did mess it up. But what
But
you know, do
I
you
don't think it would be Fable. I mean I would I would bet money it's not Fable that we would see at the thing. I would expect either a new game announcement
okay.
or an update of Perfect Dark since the other one was announced at
Game
yeah
Awards? We're
yeah
talking about Game Awards? Okay.
yeah. I'm going to say that because I don't think you would do Clockwork Revolution. I feel like if they've shown it at their press release, at Xbox's press release, they'd keep that. They did show the only one time they showed a Hellblade thing at the Xbox showcase.
Okay. Okay.
So that's just my
I
thinking.
mean, yeah.
Because I wouldn't, you
I
wouldn't.
think Fable is huge.
Yeah, I would think honestly though if it's apparently there's a big scramble and it's been also like hinted at Todd Howard that a Fable is probably in development because of how big the IP's grown.
Hmm.
Again, since the TV show, that's
Hmm.
where I would announce a
Are
new
you talking
Fable.
about Fallout?
Yeah,
Oh, you said Fable for a second.
sorry,
I was like,
Fallout. Fallout.
I was kind of
Well,
confused. Todd
we're talking.
Howard and
They both start
Fable?
with F. They both start with F.
And
Fall.
A too. FA.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
yeah. Fallout.
Like, it's like,
Um.
what does Todd Howard have to do with Fable? Oh my God.
Well, Fallout. There.
I
It sounds like there's two projects in development, and the one I'm hoping for is a full remake of Fallout 1 and 2 in the modern.
I think most people would love that because they have not played it because it's not available on consoles, right?
Yes, and
Yeah.
also the other ones are asymmetric and they did not age well.
1 and 2, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Two's probably better than one, but it's just they're rough. And
There's nothing wrong with asymmetrical games, by the way. I'm just saying. I mean, it's just they're old. That's all.
uh, like it is very clunky. One is extremely
They're
clunky.
old. They're old,
Yeah.
old, like really old.
Yeah, that's what
Yeah.
that would be the best thing to do if they want to get one out quickly is
Hmm.
just do a remake, like a modern remake in the Creation Engine of Fallout 1 and 2. If you need to spread them out, do Fallout 1 year, Fallout 2 in the other year, and you can expand them a little bit, add some more lore and stuff.
When you're expecting a lot from Bethesda Game Studios, though, to deliver these many games and within this much of a time, especially when they're working on the next Elder Scrolls, they're slow. I'm sorry, they're slow with
No,
developing
no.
games.
Bethesda has 5 teams.
I'm talking about the main team led by Todd Howard, BGS team.
He leads them
Like
all. He leads all
his
the teams. He leads all 5 teams.
But like, yeah, what I meant is like his direction. Like, I mean, his direction. That's what people are looking for, right? To be
Well,
honest,
right now he's directing 4 games.
all 4 games: Fallout 5 and Star Elder Scrolls 6, right? Those are the two.
No, he's directing um, Indiana Jones.
Is he?
Yes,
No,
He is the director of Indiana Jones. You can look that up.
I'm looking at it right now. What was the director for? Yeah. Well, you can mention the other games by the way. I know it's Elder Scrolls 6 for
Yeah,
sure.
Elder
Yeah,
Scrolls
is that this
6.
game?
It's technically not it's not it's a massive expansion, but the Shattered Space. He's directing that, and he does partial directing on the SAO, Elder Scrolls Online,
Yes.
ESO.
Yeah, okay. I mean that one. Oh, he does. He's a partial director, right?
Yeah.
So for this game, the director is Jerk. I don't know how to say his last name, but it's not Todd Howard.
Uh,
Gustafsson.
Executive
Yeah.
producer. He's executive producer
I was just
of
talking
Indie.
about director, just directing. Like his whole
He's
fingerprints
executive
are going to be on it.
producer of it. Then I didn't mean to say that he's the executive producer of Indiana Jones.
Yeah. Jared Gustafsson. I don't know how to pronounce it. I know I'm like messing it up, but whatever. Yeah, it's not Todd Howard. I mean, but they're slow, whatever. But that's the games. Like, what did they take forever? Like, fast. How long did it take for Starfield to come out after Fallout 4? Like,
Well, no, they create a whole new engine
it took a
for
while, right?
yeah, but
Yeah.
go back between Skyrim and Fallout 4. It was 6 years. It was 10 years.
Skyrim,
It was
Skyrim and
9.
Fallout 4.
Yeah,
It was 4. It was 4 years only.
yeah, 4 years.
At that time, these
They
developers were
were
okay.
yeah, no.
They
They
were
were doing
getting.
they were using the old engine. They created a new engine for Starfield.
Yes, wait,
So
so
whenever you create it,
Skyrim is on Skyrim, the game that was on 360 has the same engine as Fallout 4?
yeah, it's an upgraded version on Fallout 4, but it's the same engine.
And but Fallout 4 looks really advanced. It looks
Well,
like
it's
a
an
game for
upgrade.
Xbox One.
It's an upgraded engine.
Okay.
It's the same engine. It
Okay.
just had upgrades. While
Yeah.
Creation Engine 2 for Starfield is a whole was it takes the base engine and they rebuilt the entire engine. That's why it's Creation
Gotcha.
Engine 2. So
So
that
what's his
took them
name?
2 years alone.
So just a quick thing on that then you would assume that not Starfield 6, Elder Scrolls 6 would be out within 4 or 5 years.
Yes.
Let's see.
Well,
Let's
no,
see.
they just said that it's in full development now. So it's the
Yeah, but
only
let's see, man.
only a small team is doing Shattered Space. But
Gotcha.
and I just looked it up. It is executive producer on Indiana Jones. Todd Howard's executive producer.
Gotcha.
So he's
Gotcha.
over the director.
Oh, what a trick. All right.
Well, no, that's what the producer is. The producer.
No, I know. I get it. But like, if there's someone is directing the game, like, I mean, it's mostly
Well,
like his
I think
ideology.
that's what
Like,
Todd is now. He pretty much is an executive producer for all of his projects.
not for Starfield. It was director for Starfield. He was director for Starfield. That's his kind of a game. You can also like, and Indiana Jones looks totally different than what Starfield or Skyrim's are. Like, totally different gameplay and stuff. You there?
He was the executive producer and co-director of Starfield.
Well, it says Starfield director. It's talking about
I went into the actual deepness of the game.
Indeed. Okay.
But he was the executive and co-director. So it means it's
Okay.
not listing the other director. So he was still the boss. So he's not. He's more of a figurehead. He's more gone to the figurehead space where he's like, okay, this, but he's not writing like he used to. He probably still has majority of inputs, and Todd Howard knows what he's doing.
I know, but I think his next two games are gonna be his final two games, and I think there's gonna be Starfield and oh no, sorry, I keep saying Starfield.
Well, I'm not saying that
ES6
he
and then
will.
Fallout 5.
I'm just saying. Well, I don't know. One reason we got that. I'm just saying that he doesn't need to be involved with the remakes for Fallout. The stuff's already there. Like they can do a team for hire for that. Also, and like I said, there's like 5. It's the size of like 5 teams. It's close to like 600-man studio.
You're right. You make sense. Kind of like how Capcom did with Resident Evil 2 and 3, because like Shinji Mikami did the first two, right? Or the first three,
Yeah,
the
he
originals, and then
he did.
yeah, and then someone else did the remakes. So yeah, you're right. It makes sense.
I mean, like all he has to do is approve it and say, and he'd basically
Mm-hmm.
still be the executive producer. But for all we know, he could get a second team spun up. He could even probably go to In Exile, which is the one of the three people who originally create Fallout are there.
Gotcha. Oh, I remember just one more thing. It's not game showcase, but Game Awards. The big announcement they had last year was Blade, Marvel's Blade,
Yeah,
uh, during the Game
they
Awards.
had
So I
three
mean, yeah,
announcements. They had three things there: Blade, Hellblade, and something else.
something else too. You're right. Yeah.
Um, but let's get to our main topic because we're at an hour. So,
Mm.
and I don't
Yeah, we
think
can talk about it.
I don't think it'll be that long. Um,
Yeah.
so why don't you share people with what you came to me about this past week?
Okay, so I have some mutual followers on Twitter, and then them and like a couple other people too I don't even follow. They're like gamers, like I mean, there's some of them they're just hardcore gamers, but they've been saying that AAA games are dying, and it's indie games have taken over the console space or the gaming world, to be honest. And I'm like, I mean, I know indie games are like doing great these days, like they're phenomenal. But like, let's not get it twisted, people. Like, if you buy a next gen console, you don't buy it to play indie game. It's you just don't solely buy it to play indie games. You don't.
Well, you
You
don't
buy it to
solely buy
play.
to play triple games either.
Most of us do. Like, I mean, for example, if Grand Theft Auto is just gonna be like available on a PS5 and if that's the only game available on PS5, people will just buy PS5 for Grand Theft Auto. It's just that's how huge it is.
Well, yeah,
Hogwarts
that I
Legacy
mean
was
that's a game
and
seller, but I'm just saying.
no, no, yeah, but I'm saying there are more. There are more. I can name you right now. Hogwarts Legacy was last year's most sold game. Baldur's Gate 3, it's not an indie game. It won Game of the Year. It was huge. Then you have Elden Ring that just like took over the world for a while. God of War Ragnarok, system seller right there. So it's just like people saying AAA
I
games are
don't
dying
agree that
in.
God of War Ragnarok was a system seller. The original God of
It's
War was. Ragnarok
it's
was just not as good.
I mean, you don't like it, that's one thing, but like, it's just pretty much did as good as God of War 2018 did. It pretty much did. It's a system seller right there. People like God of War is one of the reasons why you buy PS5. Like it is. The biggest IP available
But do
right
you
now
know
on
what the main
PlayStation.
reason
Along
people buy console for? The number one reason?
which one? Sport games?
Nope.
Call of Duty?
Yep.
Yeah, it's called yeah. But what is that? What is that?
It
That's a
it,
AAA game right there. It's not an indie game. It's a AAA game. So
it,
that's but the
it's
main
a it's
core of
a
the
it's a
topic.
published it is a published AAA game, but that but people aren't buying. More people are buying consoles for Fable, not Fable, Fortnite, Call of Duty, and Fortnite, Call of
But
Duty.
remember, Fortnite you can play on anything.
Yeah, but if you don't have access, they're going to buy a console for
I
it.
mean, yeah, but some launch people play it on iPad all the time.
But
Fortnite is, I
yeah,
mean,
but
yeah.
like I'm just saying, like if you're going to buy like a hardware device that's better than a tablet, it's going to be a
Yeah,
console.
yeah, yeah. But
Um,
like, okay, yeah, go ahead, go ahead.
but I will say this: they're not dying to indie games; they're dying to budgets.
That's a different thing.
Well,
That is a different thing. No, no, no. But what they're saying is like their wording are AAA games have lost their what do you call the mojo. They have lost that. They have lost the creativity. They have lost the the aura
I
that they
agree. I
had.
kind
Like
of
that.
agree with that because I've heard a lot of that too, and I've
The
seen a
what
lot of
though?
that. The creativity is
What?
just the creativity from 10 years ago, 20 years ago is not the same. Call of Duty is a
Take
rinse
that
and
out. Call of Duty. Take that out. Call
well,
of
I'm gonna
Duty. I mean,
say
you're saying
Call of Duty is a
Elder
rinse and
Skate
is rinse.
3,
I'm using it as an example.
but
Creativity
yeah.
here is not as abundant as it used to. Call of Duty. The reason I'm saying Call of Duty is it's rinse and repeat. They just do the same thing every year.
Like you and I both know that, right? I mean, I think most of us know that, right?
And yet
But
it's
what
the
I'm
number one
saying,
selling
yeah,
game, and like
yeah. But
only Hogwarts Legacy beat it just because of the IP name.
IP name, but it also has some stuff that a lot of games don't offer. Like it's a different world with magical stuff that you don't have in other AAA games. No, you don't. And then there's another game. I mean, I know people say it's like a Souls game with an open world, but that open world is what that Elden Ring open world what it does is just like open the floodgates for so many people to just follow on. That's creativity right there. Elden Ring's world is special. It's special. It's just something like you
Yeah,
talk
but it's
about all.
still
You will be
it
talking
just
about this
barely
game in
made it into
general.
the top 10 though that year. It still wasn't. It wasn't number one. It wasn't
As
number two.
as a, as a Souls game, it sold 10 million copies. Actually more than 10 now, to be honest. It's more. As a Souls,
No,
the
but
that genre that was not selling a lot before Elden Ring.
they always sold
That's
about
the
3 to
reason
4
why.
million, which is average.
No, I
So
mean Dark Souls 3 also sold 10 million. Sekiro, I don't know how I'm surprised how Sekiro sold 10 million copies, but that's great for me and other people. But Elden Ring is the biggest Souls game right now. It is, and it's because of the open world. A lot of people who never played these Souls game before went with Elden Ring. And like, what do you want to say about Elden Ring? And you love it too, by the way.
I do love
And
it.
whatever you want to say, and whatever you want to say, it was the won the most awards. A game that's dying could not win the most
No, and
awards.
no one
And
said your game is dying. They said
no,
they said AAA, but also you got to look at how many AAA games are coming out now. How many of them are not rinse and repeat, and how many of
uh,
them are original. So outside Elden Ring, what can you say else came out that was very original that year? Hogwarts
that
was
year,
last.
the Hogwarts came out a year later.
Yeah, it
But
came
like
out last
this,
year.
I mean,
I'm
that
asking
year,
what.
no, 22, maybe God of War Ragnarok. I know a lot of people don't want to say there's no creativity in it, but like there's some set pieces in that game are just
Well, no one
like
argued with how it
phenomenal.
looked. Yeah,
Yeah. No,
but
Not that argument about how it looked, but like the everything, like the presentation, the fights, the mechanics, and everything. It's just like you don't find all that in other games. You just don't. Like God of War Ragnarok was is people say it's very similar to 2018. It is, but it's also
it's just a
different too.
continuation of
Like,
2018, in my opinion. But
there's so much difference in that game, especially when you
no.
go to the world that where you meet that mermaid girl and all that stuff. It's just a lot over there going on. It's not the same game. I mean, 2018 was bigger in terms of creativity. It was much bigger than Ragnarok, but Ragnarok has its creativity. And then Baldur's Gate 3, last year's game. Are we like really just gonna ignore that game and not happen? Like seriously, people, it's huge. Like it's just like people
but
who
it
never
was
play one and two.
but it was still
People
an
are
indie
playing three.
developed game. It's
It's
an
not
indie.
AAA.
It's not. It's an indie developed game. It had a
Not
AAA
AAA.
budget, but it's an indie developed game.
That's weird. Okay. If that is true, then okay, I'll give you that. But then again, there's a lot of stuff. By the way, Street Fighter 6 is a AAA game, sold got a lot of attention. People bought it. Resident Evil 4, it's a remake, I know, but it's a AAA game, sold a lot. Was did phenomenal with Metacritic and everything reviews. Star Wars Jedi Survivor, a lot of people hated it. Whatever, it did phenomenal. Lies of P people, hello.
Well, no one's
Starfield also
questioning
by
if they were good.
Starfield also have some creativity, even though I don't like that game at all. Not at all.
Well,
But
no one's questioning it. I think you're
how's
getting hung.
AAA dying? I
No,
don't get.
here. Listen to me. This is
Uh-huh.
what I think. What I'm way I'm under set. It's all right. Let's go back 10 years. How many games came out in like back in the day? Like when you had like let's go to '07. '07 is the easiest one to always for me to remember.
That's more than 10 years.
Well, yeah,
Almost.
but there's so many games from that year
You're
that
you're you're picking the one of the greatest years in the history of games. It's like kind of like picking 98 and then 2007. I mean, and if you go to 2011, that's another good biggest one of the biggest year. But
But I'm just
why don't you
using
pick
how many
2014?
games that were released that year.
No, I mean if you want to go 10 years, let's go 2014 then, right? Let's do 10 years, like 2014. That let's pick that year because that was a quiet year, right? So, I mean you get
No,
quiet years
I'm
here and
just
there.
well, no, I can't remember everything that came out in 2014. I can always remember '07
Why? Because
because
obviously it was not that huge that year. I mean,
oh,
if you
actually,
would
I take that
know,
back. I take that
yeah,
back. Dragon Age Inquisition came out that year.
like one game. Metal or Shadow of Mordor came up, which is a big time
That's
game,
two
by the way. That's
games.
two games. All right, now
Let's see.
after that, you have to think about it. You don't have to
Was
think.
that
You don't have
the?
to think about 2000. You don't have to think about 2007. You don't have to think about
Well,
2011. But
no,
you have
I
to
can.
think about it.
I can't think of anything in
Yeah.
2011.
You don't know Skyrim? Oh my God, Witcher 2.
11, 11,
What else came?
11, 11,
Mass
11 was
Effect.
kind of.
Mass Effect 3 came out in 2011. Or was it 2? I think it was 2. Maybe it was 3. Yeah, 2011 was huge, man. There's a lot by the Dark Souls something came out. I think 2011.
Oh, actually, I've got the full list. Bayonetta, and there's actually some really big games from 2014.
What?
We've got Shadow of Mordor,
Ooh,
Dragon Age.
Batman Arkham City came out in 2011. You don't know 2011. Damn, man.
Other than
All right, what's up? Go
Skyrim, I
ahead.
don't really remember anything from 2011.
Can I name the games that came out in
But let me do
2011?
2014. We're on 2014. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
So we
Okay.
got Shadow
Go.
of Mordor, Dragon Age
hmm
Inquisition, Dark Souls 2,
hmm That's two.
South
The
Park
worst, one
Stick
of
of
the worst
Truth,
games.
South Park Stick of
What?
Truth, which was a
I don't know
record-selling
what that
game.
is. Okay.
Bayonetta
Oh,
2,
okay.
Mario Kart 8,
It
which
came out in 2014.
yes,
I thought it was 2017. Okay.
the deluxe edition 2017.
Okay, okay. Gotcha.
Super Smash came out that year.
hmm
Assassin's Creed Unity, which was the
Okay.
worst. Master Chief Collection, Sunset Overdrive, Titanfall, Hearthstone, and that one's still going.
All right.
Uh,
So you're saying 2014 is huge. Then think about 2011 then now, okay? So you said Skyrim. That's the only game you remember. Your favorite Gears of War game came out in 2011. Portal 2, Batman Arkham City, my game of the year.
yeah, Gears of War
Dead
3,
Space
Saint
2,
Row through. Uh,
Batman Arkham City. Dark Souls came out in 2011, people. Much bigger than Dark Souls 2, by the way. Uncharted 3 came out. Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 came out.
the
You
Old
have
Republic came out.
Yep, Old Republic, Witcher 2 Assassin's King, even though it was not huge, but it's a good game. Dead Space LA Noire came out. So a Portal 2, by the way,
Ooh,
came out.
there's a lot of. Hold on a
So
second. I'm actually looking at the list too.
ooh,
There's a lot.
Dragon Age 2 came out in
Well, Dragon Age is one of
2011.
my favorite series, but that's the worst one in the series, and that's
But it came
because
out.
yeah, it did. But it was. But I'm looking at this over. Some of the worst games that generation came out that year too.
It did. But like 2011 is huge. It's a big year. So it's not as big as 2007, but 2011 is huge. It is huge. Oh, Assassin's Creed Revelations came out too. So 2000, so these are you picked the one like 2000. You are like, all right, what happened in 2007? Man, dude, 2007 is one of the greatest years in the history
Well,
of
it was
gaming. You
easier
can't
for
do
me
that
to remember, but I would say
for not just for you, for everybody. To be honest, like if you
2018
ask me,
would be one of the
another good
biggest.
year,
Yeah,
another good solid year. Yep, good solid year, good solid. But
and that's
then you
Red Dead.
go 2017, you got three games. I would say Horizon Zero Dawn, Legend of Zelda, Breath of the Wild. Those are two, and then I think
Yeah, well, no,
Mario
I'm going.
Odyssey.
Yeah, you got Resident Evil 7, Near Automaton, which was actually turned into a big game as well. It had a massive
Yes.
surgeon. Um,
Yeah, but like Near Automata, like and the games. What else did you say before that? Near
Wolfenstein
Automata,
2, The
Resident
New Colossus
Resident
came out
Evil
there.
7. Yeah,
Injustice
yeah.
2, Mario Kart Deluxe, like I said, uh, came out that year. Evil
hmm
Within 2, which is sort of big.
A a really good game, but it's not big like that. Like the games that we were talking
Shadow
about,
of War.
2007. My game, greatest game of all time. Yeah, that's a big game. Second greatest
Player
game of all
Unknown's
time.
Battleground.
The what? PUBG?
Yeah.
Oh, then okay. 2017 is huge too, people.
Like there were some bad
Sorry.
games that year, but there are still ones that are
No,
still
2017 is huge also. Yeah, it is huge. Yeah,
yeah,
didn't
so.
think of those games at all. Yeah. So,
But
but
if
yeah,
you
but
look
like
at
let's.
this, let me do it like this. If you look at last year was the biggest year we've had in a while. I will say that of games. But
But AAA games are dying.
yeah, but a lot on this list are also um, indie developed games.
Yeah, true. But like the games that I'm talking, I'm like, listen, Starfield, not indie developed. Okay, Resident Evil 4 remake, I get it, not indie developed. Star Wars Jedi Survivor, not indie developed. Tears of the Kingdom, not indie developed. What else you
Remnant
got?
2 is an indie
Okay,
developed game.
okay, okay, okay. That's one right there. And then let's talk about Alan Wake 2. Even though you say it's an indie studio, but I think they're huge as hell, and the games look
Well, no,
triple A to me.
well, you can say the same thing for Baldur's Gate. They're in that same class. They are
Gotcha.
independent students who got a AAA budget. Actually, I will say, wasn't even a AAA budget for Alan Wake 2. They just knew what they were doing. That's just how good they are.
hmm Marvel Spider-Man 2, one of the biggest games of the year last year,
I
2023.
still haven't even played it, and I own it.
That does not mean that's a bad game or it did not happen last year, dude. It
Well, no,
doesn't matter what you play.
I'm
What
just
you don't
saying,
play.
I have that game and I still
No.
have not played. I'm just making a
Yeah,
comment.
I know, but I'm just
I'm
saying
just
that
saying
those
that's bad on my part.
like I
Liza
have
P.
not played Zelda. Yeah, Final Fantasy 16 came out last year. A
Yeah.
big game, must play game for a lot of people, right? And then obviously I mentioned Starfield. I also mentioned what else you got. Dead Space remake came out in 2020,
You also
2023,
had Tears
right?
of the Kingdom. Like here,
I said that.
let
Yeah,
me do the AAA list first, and then I'll come
yeah.
back with the um indie list. AAA list: Tears of the Kingdom, Spider-Man 2,
Mhm.
Star Wars, Diablo 4, Super Mario Wonder, Starfield, Street Fighter 6, Dead Space remake, Pikmin 4, Resident Evil 4, Hi-Fi Rush,
I thought
which
this is a triple A.
uh I would it was developed by a AAA studio.
Okay.
You can call that as a small indie game
Mortal
too.
Kombat 1 came out also,
Yeah, Mortal Kombat.
2023.
Yeah, I'm still going. Liza P. Hogwarts Legacy, Fire Emblems
Dude,
Engage.
we could stop right there, by the way. That's a lot of games you mentioned right there. That's
Yes,
just a lot of games you
but
mentioned
here
right there.
I'm gonna come back with you. I mean, I can stop there, but I'm about to get in an even longer list for indie develops.
You can go, but like the thing is, like those all indie games that you're talking, the great indie games that they are. By the way, no offense to them or anything, but like none of those games are selling the system like Hogwarts Legacy is, like Resident Evil 4 is, like
Baldur's Gate.
Starfield is. It's not still selling like Resident Evil 4 or like whatever you
It
call it,
is
like
still
a Star
selling.
Wars
It's still in the top every month.
every month, is it?
Yeah, I mean, like it's gone. Like it's in
Hogwarts
the top.
Legacy, it's not, but it's not Hogwarts. Like, but like that. Okay,
Hogwarts
you just
Legacy
pick
is still
one
not
game.
is
Okay,
actually bottomed out too.
Besides Baldur's Gate 3, what indie game is there? Like you say,
Alan
you know
Wake
what I'm
2.
talking about. It's not selling. Element 2 did not sell well, people. It's a great game, but it did not sell well. It did not. It did not. It did not sell well. It's a great game, by the way. It's phenomenal. What game sold like Hogwarts Legacy? What game sold like Resident Evil 4? What game sold like Mortal Kombat 1?
Well, Resident Evil 4 didn't
Indie
even
games,
make it into the top 10.
but it sold 8 million copies. How many indie games do you know that sell that many copies? You talking about just top 10. I'm
Oh,
talking millions right there.
okay. So
Yeah.
you really want to know? I can give you we can go Power World.
It came out this year, by the way.
Yeah, but think about how many copies it sold.
Yeah, that's another one game this year, not last year.
But you really want
The
to know?
way
Well, no, you
it's
just
like
asked
you
me.
keep
Well, Baldur's Gate 2, and I will say, what was that?
three. That's one game
Oh
right
yeah,
there last
Baldur's
year.
Gate, and Octopath Traveler 2.
It did not come out last year.
It did came out.
Did it?
Yep, start of the year is one of the first one. Um,
How many did it sell?
Let's see.
It's a Square Enix game that never meet their expectations by
It
the
didn't meet their
February.
expectations, but it still broke 2 million units. I'm going to say if it breaks 2 million units, it sold well.
If it's 5 million or above, then yeah, you're right. You're right. 5 million, in my opinion.
No, well, 2 million. 2 million's the standard. That is your standard games. The There are always outliers every year. Hogwarts Legacy was outlier last year, and that's because it was the Harry Potter IP.
Gotcha.
But it but I'm just we're not saying about what they sold or how well they sold. We were just talking about there's not as many
Also, we
triple.
did not even mention the sports games by them because they're also AAA games, right? So it's that's what
Sports
I'm
games
saying. I mean,
we really need to get a new category for rinse and repeat
but
games.
they are AAA games. They are AAA games. It's just like saying we don't Call of Duty is a AAA game, even though it's a rinse and repeat game, but it's a AAA game there. And what Legend of Zelda sold 10 million copies in 3 days. I don't know what indie game sells 10 million copies in 3 days.
Baldur's Gate.
Just it did not sell 10 million in 3 days. Three
No,
days.
no,
Nope. It didn't.
no. It,
No,
it did on
no.
Steam.
No.
It did.
It did not send 10 million copies. Dude, you know how much 10 million is in 3 days? No, it did not. Not even close. You're probably thinking 1 million instead of 10. That if it had
Well,
happened, it would have obviously be tied with Zelda right there. But it did not sell 10 million copies in 3 days. Just one, two, three. That's how powerful a good AAA game is. And
Baldur's
like,
Gate
yeah,
game
it
sold
is.
25 million copies,
In three
and
days?
not 3 days,
I
and
know.
and 14 million in the first 30 days.
14, right?
So
In first
they
30.
don't have
And
like
Zelda did,
they don't have
yeah,
like that. They
Zelda
don't. I'm
did,
not seeing three
yeah,
days, but 14 million in the first
yeah.
30 days.
It's phenomenal, but like you keep mentioning one game from last year along with Octopath Traveler 2, two games that sold a lot. I'm saying giving you like 20 games, right?
Well, no, I'm not saying. We were talking as if. Oh yeah, Sea of Stars sold 2 million for an indie game, which sold that's really
Okay.
well. What's the other? What's another one? Dave the Diver.
What now?
Dave the Diver. That was another
How
big
many
one.
did it? How many did it sell?
That was even at the Game Awards.
It was okay.
Yeah. Dave the Diver is another one. I mean, there's still more. You're still going to always have more AAA games, but there's getting less and less. Some years you'll get a year where it's big, where there's more. But if you go back
Last year
to,
was packed though. Last year was packed.
yeah,
Right.
what year
And
did Hades?
this year is not gonna be that bad. I mean, it's not gonna be as good as last year, but we still are already like killing it with AAA games. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, Tekken 8. We have what do you call it? What came out in March, man? Dragon's Dogma 2 was huge, right? Dragon's Dogma.
I don't even. I
The
don't
other
think.
games,
Oh yeah,
I'm sorry, what?
there's AAA games that have come out, but if you're going by
That are
sales,
selling
Tekken
that are
8 didn't.
selling a lot. That are
Tekken
selling a
8's
lot,
not
bro.
selling that good.
What are you talking about? Hold on.
I don't think Tekken 8's selling that good.
You're probably confusing with some other game. Tekken 8 copies sold. Already sold 2 million plus already. Actually 3 million plus.
Well, I mean that should be right for about 3 months being out, but it's not.
But
It's
we just had 2 million copies was, like was the cutoff, right? And now it's 3 million already. And it's just in the
well,
first three
no,
months
no,
right
no,
now.
no,
It's
no.
a
It's slow. It's
fighting game.
slower. I'm saying
Yeah.
it's sold
Yeah.
slower.
Yeah, yeah. But like it has sold a lot though.
I
It
didn't
has sold
say
millions of copies.
it
Yeah,
didn't
yeah.
it didn't
Yeah, yeah.
sell as what you like the
No,
way you were
but
talking
I
about.
was saying was we still have AAA games that are. I mean, like yeah, okay, Tekken 8 is not killing it, but it's still selling, right?
Yeah,
So
I mean,
that's yeah. We have Final Fantasy. Even Final Fantasy VII Rebirth did not sell as good as what do you call it, the remake, right? Because of what seven was maybe was
well,
bigger than
no, I will say
Rebirth. Yeah.
this, and I've said this multiple times. I've said this since remake was announced
Hmm.
that the only reason that game sold remake sold as well as it did, like record setting
Hmm.
sales, it
Hmm.
was freaking the week that it was the second month of COVID. No one had anything to
Yeah,
do.
yeah, yeah,
Like
yeah, yeah.
everyone bought things to do. Like I
Mhm,
will
mhm,
never
mhm.
use that year as compare prices with compare because you can't do that.
Especially that first month, especially the first month, right?
First couple
Yeah,
months. You cannot do that
yeah.
because one is it is a full outlier because of COVID. No one could go anywhere. What are you going to do? Like game systems were sold out everywhere because people were trying to find
Everywhere, all systems, to be honest, right?
and
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
trying to find things to do. So
Mm.
that's why I said don't compare remake with rebirth, Square Enix. You're going to hurt yourself.
Yeah, 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 absolutely.
You,
But yeah, I know COVID. You're right about you're 100% right about the COVID part. But I think the other thing was I think nostalgia played a bigger role then than it's gonna play now because it was the first thing coming out in years for Final Fantasy, right? That I mean,
uh,
I think that also plays a part, to be honest.
yeah. Last one was 15, and that was by that point that was 7 years old.
Oh no. I was comparing the original Final Fantasy VII to the remake. I mean, I'm talking about nostalgia factor also playing a part of all
Yeah,
people going out their ways to buy the Final Fantasy VII remake. Yeah,
twenty
I
twenty
don't
two
think
was still a good year though for
it
games.
was okay. I mean, it was great with
Hey,
Elden Ring, God of War,
my favorite PlayStation 4 game came out that year.
PlayStation 4.
Yeah, Ghost of Tsushima.
No, that came out in 2020.
That's why I said 2020.
Oh, I thought you said 2022. I'm sorry. Oh, no, 2020 was a packed year too. It was.
Yeah, well,
It
2020 is
literally
when,
was.
like we were talking about, and I went and looked, but that was also the year
Last
with
of
the,
Us Part 2 came out in 2020, sorry.
yeah, and that's the year COVID hit.
Doom Eternal, Cyberpunk came out in 2020. I know it was controversial, people, it came out. Uh, Neo 2 came out. A couple other games. Demon Souls came out. Miles Morales came out. A lot of games came out in 2020, to be honest. Your another favorite game came out in 2020, Like a Dragon.
Yeah, I loved Like a Dragon.
Hmm. Hmm.
Which
Hmm.
even though
Yeah.
it's published by Square Enix, and but
Oh, I thought it was Sega.
Like a Dragon games have basically
It's
indie develop.
Sega.
Yeah, Sega.
It's Sega, not
Yeah,
Square.
not
Sorry,
Square Enix.
yeah.
But you can Like a Dragons are actually don't have that big of budget. They're actually equivalent to like in like a Plague's Tale budget.
That's also indie, and that's a great one. Yeah.
Alan Wake budget.
Hmm.
So
Alan
um,
Wake, I don't care what you say. It's a AAA game.
it its budget
It
is no different. It's done by an indie studio. It just looks great.
no, it looks great. It plays well. Like it plays like a AAA game. It has like every atmosphere. It's like presented as a AAA game. Like everything, like
I
from
think the
top to
game was.
bottom.
I think that I remember them saying that it was made for under $2 million, which is rare these days.
Mhm. But all that star power, even that band, to have that band in that game, Poets of the
They
Fall, it's
all
a
work at the
really good band.
studio. They
Really?
just made the band. They made the band. Like,
No, but they did the songs though for them.
well, no, yeah, they're audio people. So,
But no, but that's Poets of the Fall. But I mean, obviously, you're gonna pay them money though.
well,
So they're
yeah,
not just gonna get
they did the songs for them, but you're not gonna pay them. You probably pay them like 10 grand max.
really,
Yeah.
really. Okay, I mean, they're falling, I guess.
Well, no, that's like this is my background. That's about right. They're not like a Taylor Swift or something.
No, obviously. Oh no,
Yeah,
nobody's.
yeah, but for their level of,
Man, we're talking about Taylor Swift on podcast now. I
I'm
don't like her.
I'm just saying. I'm
I know.
just
That's an
saying.
example.
Taylor Swift up here, them way down here.
Wait, yeah, but they're better than her as a singer, as a band, as an artist. Yeah.
So I'm just talking. That's how
Anyway,
much you're gonna get paid.
popularity.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
got your popularity pay, so to speak.
Yeah, yeah.
I'd say 10 grand, maybe 15 grand, but somewhere in that range is probably what they would have paid them, unless they did.
Yeah, but go
So
ahead. I'm sorry. No,
unless,
at the end of the day, I mean, like, if you're talking about, like, if they're more creative, they're, like, pushing the boundaries more than they did, like, 15, 16, or maybe 10 years ago, Probably you're right. You're 100% right, maybe. Okay, you're 100% right. But to say AAA people are not going out their way to buy consoles for AAA games, games like that, like Halo Infinite, even Halo Infinite. I mean, yeah, you can play on PC, whatever. For screw Halo Infinite. But like, yeah, like Forza, whatever, Elden, God of War, Spider-Man 2, there are like system seller games. I mean, there. I mean, AAA games. In my opinion, when you say AAA are dying, it means it's just like they're not good anymore. They're just like they're not bringing the attention anymore. That's what I. That's what I am. That's what my thing is. Don't use the word dying. Then I mean that's what I'm just. I'm just gonna put it out. Don't
Uh,
use the word dying.
slowing down. How about slowing down?
Like slowing down in what way though? That's my thing. Like not coming out as much. Like not as many releases.
Not as many releases, and that's due to budgeting. What I was trying, like my actual point to start, like what they like. I agree with you that all your friends are wrong on the reason, but AAA games are not going away with the dodo, but we're going to start seeing them like budget wise go further and further between. Everyone's tightening up their belts and they're trying to figure out how to make games more profitable and be more agile. Like,
Yeah, yeah.
because Spider Man sold super well, but it took them 320 million to do it, and that was over. They would have to hit that. They had to sell more than 10 million units to pay it back to become profitable
Yeah,
in it.
yeah,
So I
yeah, yeah.
mean, a lot of this stuff about how many units sold. If you look at that, if the game's budget, if it was profitable, that's really what we should be looking at these days. Is if a game was profitable and if it did well. Like a game could sell 10 million units, but if it wasn't profitable, you're not
Yeah,
going to get
yeah,
another
yeah,
one.
yeah, 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 yeah. But like my you're right. You're right over there. But like my thing is like Spider-Man 2 is not like a dying property. That's what I'm
It's
saying.
not. Well,
Like
I mean, they're
it's not.
already
It's not.
profitable.
And
Yeah,
yeah, and
they
once the
got their money
DLC
back.
comes out, there will be more people playing it, posting it. Like we'll be talking about Spider-Man 2. Everybody will be talking about. I mean, those who are playing Spider-Man 2 will be
I'm not
talking
worried
about
about
it.
that one going. I was just using an example
Yeah,
because I remember when
yeah.
we had those leaks, it showed it, and they
Mm-hmm,
had to sell roughly like what was it, like 8.7 million units before they hit that profit margin,
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
and like
Yeah, yeah,
if you're getting to
yeah.
where your
You're
games
talking.
are like that,
Yeah. Mm-hmm,
you're going to kill AAA games. You can't. That's not sustainable.
I mean, if that's the reason, that's how we're gonna look at it. 100%, I'm with you there. And yeah, I mean, it's gonna kill the market off for other studios too. Like, I mean, not all studios can afford that much money at all. They can't. Spider-Man is just a big property itself. Like, not forget the game part. It's just like it's a known quantity. People will some people will just play the game just because it's Spider-Man, right?
I'm gonna look up the
Or just
Alan
play it
Wake
for.
2 budget because that is your
Okay,
best example of an indie game that looks AAA and done really well and extremely
I still
popular.
don't think it's indie. It's not indie.
It's indie. I
No,
mean,
it's not indie.
it is indie as indie can get. If you want to say there
No.
was Epic Games helped publish it, they gave them some money. It's not
It was
published by
very
any of the
budget
big.
wise. I'm talking about indie games looking, like what's the game? Hold on, let me think about a game real quick for you. Oh, like Little Insight game, like whatever game that is. Is it Little Insight? No,
You mean,
Insight, just game itself.
I know what you're
Insight
talking
game.
about, but
Yeah, if
yeah,
that's the game, okay.
but
What else we can
those are
talk
indie
about?
games, but that
Like they are
doesn't.
indie, indie. Yeah. I
But
mean,
that
I'm
doesn't
telling you,
mean
those games are
that.
not selling system. Those games are not selling the systems right now. So people are
Actually, you'd be
not going their way.
surprised. Actually, they do sell. They actually are a main reason people buy Switch. I will say, indie, not just the individual games, but a lot of people buy Switches just to play indie games on the go.
I mean, you could also
Not the
buy
game
Steam Deck
specific,
for
not
that.
the game specifically, but the bigger market for indie sell best on Switch.
I mean, yeah, on Switch. Okay,
And
great.
I'm just saying, it's
And
just
on the
Switch.
go too. But like the main thing that says people associate with Switch would be what? Mario,
Yeah,
Legend of Zelda, right? Even those games, those Xenoblade games, probably those two, and then the Smash Bros, the Bayonetta games, and yeah, those are the games, man. I mean, that's what when you think of a Switch, you think of them. When you think of an Xbox, you think of Halo, you think of Gears, you think of like Forza. When you think of PlayStation, you don't think about whatever their indie game was. No, it's just that's what I'm saying. They're not going away. I'm just saying AAA games are going nowhere. They're here. They're selling. They're
Pre-marketing
gonna be. There's
cost,
gonna.
real
Yeah.
fast since I got it up. Pre-marketing cost, it wasn't two
hmm
million, but pre-marketing cost, it was it was 50 million euros.
For what though? Mark Spider-Man?
Alan Wake 2, which is very low.
Fif-
50 million.
15 million euros?
Yep.
Isn't that almost close to $50 million? No, euros.
It's actually a little bit more than 50 million.
That's a lot of money though.
Well, yeah, but your typical game budgets are 100 million more now.
Yeah, but 50 million is still not like indie
Well,
million. Indie's game money though. I think that's a lot.
no, well,
No, 15 million.
it's not a lot this day and age. No. Now after
I
marketing,
mean,
it
I
went
mean,
up to 70
no,
million.
no.
Marketing and starting.
If you're talking about with comparing with other AAA games, yeah, but like indie games are like you can make an indie game less than $10 million or maybe less. Oh,
Hold on, let me see what the budget was for what's that one game that we were talking about
Dead
earlier?
Cells.
No,
Let's look at a Dead Cells.
no, Dead Cells
It,
is about 10 million. But
yeah, but it's not 50,
well, no,
right? That's what I'm saying.
I'd say anything under 100 million is an indie game this day and age.
I mean, I don't know about that.
Well,
15 million
no,
is a lot of money.
Street Fighter is 2.5 as was about 200, close to 200. So,
Street Fighter 6, it's a big game.
well,
It's
yeah, but
legit big. Yeah.
yeah, but if you look at budgets now, Hellblade 1 was 10 million.
It's an indie game, by the way. That's an indie game, right?
Yeah, Hellblade 1 was indie at the time. And
It's
it's
still indie, no?
yeah, it'd still be indie budget wise, but if you're going by budgets, I think anything under 100 million, honestly,
No, man.
like
100 million is a lot of money, right? So you're saying a game that is $95 million. It's an indie game? No.
yeah, I would say
No,
that.
that's a lot.
Yes,
No,
it is
that's
a
a
lot of
lot.
money, but if you go look at like the budget for Halo Infinite, the 320 million for Spider-Man, close
That's the
to
most expensive game you're talking about, though.
no, Last of Us was also 300 million. Last of Us 2.
Yeah, yeah,
The
yeah.
Last
Those
of
are two
Us
of the biggest, yeah.
Yeah, but the games you're
Mm.
suggesting, each Call of Duty is over 150.
Oh, that's another big. You're talking about the biggest of the biggest games right there.
Dead
You
Space
just named Last of Us.
okay, Dead Space
That's
remake
it,
was roughly 100 million.
roughly. So that's like it could be 98, and you would say it's a
No,
what?
well, hold on, I'll tell you. I'm typing in DEAD space remake budget.
Oh, it's. Oh, never mind. I'm sorry. It's just showing me a price. It's $50 only.
Well, I don't want the price for Dead Space 2. That was 60 million. That makes sense. That was over 10 years ago.
Yeah, yeah.
Let's see. It's not showing the
Hold on.
It's not showing me what the Dead Space remake budget was.
So Resident Evil 4 would be like twice more than Alan Wake 2.
Resident Evil 4 was probably I doubt I'll be able to get that budget either.
Even though all the tech they use in Alan Wake, I don't know how why is it not considered AAA.
Resident Evil 4 budget. Oh, Resident Evil 4 budget was over 100 million. No exact amount.
Gotcha. So they all are like 100 over.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's why I'm saying indie games are probably this day and age under 100 million.
Okay. Okay.
Is that fair?
Yeah. Yeah. I'll buy it. It's a lot of money in my opinion, though.
Well, like that's just how it is. I mean,
Yeah. Yeah. Games are expensive, I guess you say.
well,
Whatever.
yeah. It's Take Two has already said that
GTA 6, like probably $1 billion, I
Is
guess.
already over a billion.
Is it
Yeah.
already? Damn. Holy shit. What are you doing that
So that's just how development cost is getting. So
A
you
billion
are,
dollars?
yeah, this is what I mean. Your AAA games are going to be very much slower. They're not dying, but they're going to be further and further and far between. Even Sony isn't developing AAA games. Like, well, they
But
are
like you're
developing,
still,
but that's why we're not getting any for a year and a half.
like yeah, I mean they're slowing down with Sony, but still we have a lot of AAA coming out this year, right? We do. We still have Star Wars Outlaws coming out, right? We still
Well,
have
no, I'm not. I'm not saying that.
yeah.
I mean,
We still have
if you're going by
Indiana in,
percentage, Indiana Jones, yeah, we're getting it.
no,
I'm not saying
yeah.
we're not getting any at all. I'm saying we're just gonna it's gonna be a continuous trend that we're probably gonna see a slower amount come out. We're probably still gonna get the same amounts, but we're gonna get slower amounts every year.
But that's there's another thing to that too. It's just like people have said. I mean, which I find it kind of hard to believe these days. Like they're saying, it's just hard to make games itself because it's just the more. I mean, there's so much expectations too with the games, right? So besides what we've talked about this before, besides Capcom and FromSoft and Insomniac, everybody takes forever to make games these days. It's just how it is for a while
Well,
now.
no, I
Yeah.
think it's they are better at managing their
Their
games come out.
games.
Yeah, and
Yeah, I
here's
mean, yeah,
something
but like.
you always gotta do with I want to say with Insomniac, all their games have been the last three games. Outside the Ratchet and Clank game, which was for their other studio, there's two Insomniac studios. There's one East Coast and one West Coast.
Mm-hmm.
All of them are the Spider-Man games, and they're all using the same exact system. They didn't have to make a system, so it's
Mm-hmm.
actually easier if you're using the same asset, same everything, to make another game in a short amount of time.
Yeah, but Jared, you're looking at it like okay, it's two different teams. You're looking at that, but I'm just looking at it's. I'm just looking at the name, right? I'm just looking at the name. The name is Insomniac. I know it's in the same engine. I get it, but they've delivered four games. I mean, you can do ifs, buts, whatever. Insomniac delivered four games. They did. Like no matter how you slice it. FromSoft is also using probably the same engine. They are. They're probably using it, right? They delivered Hero, Demon Souls, Elden Ring, Fire, the Armor Core game, and now the DLC. Like basically 4.5 games in 4 years. Since 2019 to 2023, 5
Demon
years.
Souls
Four
was
and a
not
half
done
games.
by Firm Software. Demon Souls was
And they were part.
no
They were
they
part of
no they created the original one, but the entire remake is done by
it.
that.
Okay, take Demon Souls out. It's still 3.5 games. It's 5 years, 3.5 games. Most studios are not making a game within 7 years. Like for example, Halo Infinite went 8 years. Last of Us went 7 years. Gears of War will be 5 years. I mean, the next game from Coalition will be so. I mean, however you look at it, right? Capcom, I know it's huge. It is huge, whatever it is. But from Capcom, we got 4 games in 2 years, actually. Yeah, Dragon's Dogma 2, Street Fighter 6, Monster Hunter Rise, Resident Evil 4. Oh, a shitty ass game, but it's a game, Exoprimal. And then pretty soon we're not getting another game from them. So they're all over the place. These studios, I mean, I don't care what you say, but when I
I
look
wouldn't
at their
say
name,
Capcom's a studio; it's a publisher that has studios
it's
underneath.
both. It's developer slash publisher. It's
Yeah.
both. When you see Resident Evil 4 name, it says developed by Capcom.
Well, yeah, but that's why I'm saying they're better at managing their teams on getting games out. Yeah,
Yeah, but no, I was just like like just doing a counter part to that point. Like it's two teams, it's all that, but like I'm just saying there are games coming out under their belt. That's all I'm just saying.
with their name
It's
on
games
it.
coming out.
With their name on it.
Yeah,
You are right about
yeah.
that. But but you just know how I am. I'm just I understand where it's and why things are. But
And
yes,
also games coming out, and we know what they're also doing next. Like for example, we know Wolverine is in works. We know it's coming out like within 2 years, whatever. And then we also know Spider-Man 3 is gonna follow up right there. So Insomniac's plan, like whatever it is, they just do better. Also, there's another studio. I know they do same stuff, same engine-wise stuff, all everything. It's pretty much the same engine. Playground. They're pretty good with their releases. I mean, not as good as these guys are, but they're pretty good too. Like they release their games really quick though. Like Forza 4 came out, Forza 3 came out in 2016, 4 in 2018, 5 in 2021. And now we know Fable is coming out most likely next year. And then by the end of the year, they might get for Forza 6 too. I know again, it's two different teams. I know but it's the same name coming out with a lot of games. And we know their plans too. So that's what I'm just
Yeah.
saying.
Well, yeah. It just some places seem faster than others, and it's management with that. But I think we've covered this topic enough for the day, and if we got more to say, we can cover it on Twitter. And I'm pretty sure all of our fans are going to have their own opinions about this.
Yeah, yeah,
Please,
they're gonna
please
go.
add
Oh,
us.
they're all gonna be going on me like, how dare you say indie games are bad? I'm like, I did not even say that, to be honest. I'm like, hey,
Well, no.
all I'm saying, they don't just sell the system like AAA games still do. That's what I'm just saying. AAA games are like the legit reason why we buy consoles or new badass PC, whatever. I mean, if I'm gonna
I'm
buy
still
a
going to say it's more
4090,
Call of Duty than anything else with the casual
yeah,
market.
yeah, but like, I mean, this is AAA game again, people. But again, if I'm gonna buy a 4090, one of the most powerful PC ever, I'm not gonna buy it just to play a little inside game or whatever they it's called. I'm sorry, I know
You know
that's
what you need to play? I got my recommendation of your week, and it is an indie game, but it's one of the best indie games of all time.
hmm
And you can usually find it cheap. You need to play Hades.
It's I played it. It's a great game. It's I've said it before. I'll say it again. I never said indie games are bad. I've never said that. I love some indie games, like for example, Plague Tale Requiem, which kind of looks like a AAA game, but whatever. Hades is
Alan Wake
phenomenal.
2.
It's phenomenal. Phenomenal, right? Phenomenal games, even though Alan Wake 2 is a triple A. And so my final point is that if I'm gonna buy a 4090 or the most powerful laptop, it's probably gonna be most likely be to play Cyberpunk 2077, not to play. Give me a game, not to play whatever. I mean, let me think of. I can't even think of a game. To be honest. I'll get Dead Cells. Not to play Dead Cells, not to play Dead Store, even though Dead Store is a good game. But I'm not gonna buy 4090 to play Dead Store. I can play it on my Xbox One. Right? I mean, I can play Cyberpunk on my
You
Xbox
can
One
play
too, but like to get
Cyberpunk.
the best. Yeah, yeah. What I was gonna say is just to get the best.
You want the pretty.
The,
You want the performance and the prettiest.
yeah, 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 yeah.
That is your typical hardcore gamer. And that's fine. So,
End of
I
story.
mean, hey,
Have a good night, guys.
yeah, I have a very high powered graphics card in my computer that I never use. But anyway, uh, we're gonna call it a night, guys. It's um,
Our
so you can
longest show
find
ever, I
yeah.
guess.
No, it wasn't that long. We're actually still
All right.
we're a little longer than normal, but we're good. Let's do our socials.
Oh yeah. You can follow me on X, Twitter, Dower Rock and Roll, and on Xbox, Dower. I'm sorry, I said the wrong name. It's Dower underscore Sen for Twitter, and Dower Rock and Roll for Xbox, Dower 2526 for PlayStation.
And you can follow me on Twitter at random_name.
hmm
Xbox is BECKS the name.
Yeah, you'll find him playing Sandland. Is it a AAA or what is it? Indie?
I would say it's published by Bandai Namco. I would say it's probably budgeted like an indie, but so they really need to double A. I would say it's a double A game.
One more thing, final thing. Stellar Blade, double A, triple A.
Uh, I would say probably triple A for that one, but I, we need to stop saying indie. It is indie developed, but Baldur's Gate is would be if you went by how large. Just one last thing for our stuff. Alan Wake, double A game
Mhm.
because of the budget.
So Baldur's Gate cost less than 100?
No, Baldur's Gate probably cost a whole lot more because it was in access and all. It is probably it probably was a AAA budget, but it was developed
Yeah.
by an indie independent studio.
Yeah, it's over 100 million.
Yeah.
Compared to Pillars of Eternity 2, which cost 4.4 million. Damn. Okay.
So, but anyway, we'll from now on let's change our Lego to AA and AAA if we're going to talk budgets.
I guess so.
And
Yeah.
and
AAA games are not dying. At the end of the day, AAA games are not dying. That's the moral. That's the end of the story.
here's the thing: they're not dying. You're going to see less AAA and more AA.
Possibly, but people will be still playing FIFA more or like Call of Duty more. So, or
Throwing out Call of Duties and your sports games.
game. Yeah, throw out fighting games too now.
Yeah, fighting games can still be in this list. You're still going to see your AAA games, but you're probably going to see more AA games. Even Microsoft and Sony have said that they're lowering their budgets.
Yeah.
But anyway,
Good job, Microsoft.
and Sony's doing it too. They literally said that on their national call.
Sony said they're fine. They still have Wolverine coming up.
Anyway,
All right,
have a
guys.
good night, everybody.
Peace out.